Mostly.
What did you get out of it?
Can I just open up sort of old people? You know?
No.
Just because it's been weighing heavily on my mind.
What is it?
Well, on Friday, you know, we had our little thing.
Right.
And then Bill O'Neill and here, right? And, you know, and it was all about Wellesley Street. And then I know that you and I interpreted comment 5 one way, and that they were totally bewildered. And I don't know. And then I've gone home and read it about 50 times, and I am so bewildered by the comment itself that I thought, maybe I'm going to let other people's fresh eyes look at it, because I don't want us to be seen as just like throwing this giant wrench, although I totally agree that we don't need to like straighten that road out. I still
Is
would
this
like
under
to feel
miscellaneous
that someone
Yes, it would be miscellaneous
aside from
business.
me understood what comment 5 was. Do you have no copy of this? I say this.
Maybe it's helpful to read it out loud. Sometimes
Okay.
that makes all the difference.
Well, the big thing is, as you know, Wellesley Street and Route 30 is coming up the intersection for improvement, and the guys in the town have been working on this for quite some time. Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah.
I don't know, because the
But we
first
haven't
time we
seen
saw
it.
it was Friday.
Right. Well, Tuesday.
Well, sidewalk.
Yeah, right. And the issue kind of is that they, you know, unbeknownst, I mean, I didn't even notice it until you get down there, a months or two, is that Wellesley Street comes in and there's a slight jog off to the other side, to the south side of Wellesley Street. It doesn't align perfectly, and evidently Mass DOT somehow our Public Works Department interpreted that they like everything nice and neat and squared off. So we at the sidewalk determined that this would really have rather remarkable impact on that intersection. They'd have to straighten the whole road out, widen it quite a bit, just basically taking the wall back and rebuild it so it had like a stone wall, you know, and then above that like a few inches of grass, and then that big wall. So you get this kind of feeling like, you know, when you're driving down the Mass Pike and there's a sound barrier kind of thing. That's kind of the
We're
look.
changing the grading, too.
Yeah, it's kind of what they're going for. So for whatever reason, they were here on Friday, right?
Right.
That was kind of added on.
Yeah, easier than me just reading an email from
Yeah.
Steve Fogg.
Right,
So
that's what Steve Fogg. Yeah, so it's Steve Fogg. And so they came in and they gave us the letters back from April 2011 for the communications that have been going on about this. And
Well, can I just
Yes,
fill in
please,
one-
anytime you want.
another comment?
Yeah.
And that is that the question we had was, if they want to expand, they want to widen the road because they want to make a right turn lane
Right.
onto Route 30
Mhm.
from Wellesley Street.
right,
So
to
the line
go
doesn't-
eastbound into Boston.
Yeah.
Right,
And so the question we had, so they're moving everything over to the west.
right.
And the question we had was, you have more right-of-way to the east, so could you not actually move over to the east and preserve the vegetation and the stone wall and the grading as is to screen that fence? That was the question we had.
Except that the Public Works Department seemed to interpret it as, no, you've missed the point. It isn't just that, it's that they want, the Mass DOT wants that intersection straight, rectilinear, straight, nice and even, lined up. And there was a comment in here, number 5, reading it. And this is the thing I actually didn't understand. It's like, who was making the comment? And, you know, so the comment...
Still not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so bizarre. The stone wall between Station 204 and 00 and 208 and 00 left on Wellesley Street, I assume that's left going northbound, will be removed and reset. The design engineer will check to see if the road can be realigned to avoid moving and resetting.
Wait a minute, you just skipped over that. That's actually an important
The
sentence.
design engineer will check to see if the road can be realigned to avoid moving and resetting the stone wall.
Exactly.
Probably these people.
Well, I think these people is this HF, that's the response. So this is the comment, and you think it's from Mass DOT, right? The design engineer will check to see if the road
We'll
can
check.
be realigned to avoid moving and resetting. So we felt that Mass DOT did not want to move that.
I said, what I interpreted it to say is, check and see if that's possible.
Right, right. That's how I interpret it too. But it gets very murky. If the stone wall is reset, a permanent easing on a model, please add designations. Then HSH, this is the response from our traffic consultants. has not realigned with Wellesley Street, as it would take a significant shift to avoid disturbing the existing stone wall. That sounded good, that sounded in support of our feelings. Due to the fact that the stone wall between Station 204 and 28 is sitting on top of a slope off the west side of Wellesley Street, a minor realignment of the roadway would not be sufficient to prevent the need to remove and reset the wall. Wellesley Street is being widened in this area, and this widening will cut to the existing slope. In order for the slope to be appropriately regraded, the stone wall will have to be relocated. So now they're saying it.
It would have to if you
Okay.
realign the road.
Okay,
So if you move the road to the west.
right, okay. Proposed relocated stone wall is shown on the plan and ties back into the existing wall. But so now they're saying that they are relocating it. A permanent easement has been added along the area as a relocation is over the right of Lime Way. A large portion of the relocated stone wall happens on the property. In addition to the wall relocation, there's also grading tree removal. This property is a 6 to 8 foot. Because it is, okay, but you all are feeling like, yes, we were right.
The
that-
initial
that
suggestion
Mass
was,
DOT was, don't do this.
well, it was just check and see.
Right, okay.
And their response is, we checked and we saw, and these are the consequences. That's the way I read it.
Okay, but the consequences are, we're going to do it just the same? This is the way we want to do it?
They just responded to DOT. We don't have the final
Yeah.
response back from DOT.
So I should stop feeling guilty about throwing wrenches in the
And that-
works
and
of the public.
that's what Steve
I mean,
is going to
really,
get
really.
clarification, because
Right.
Found that the most
that
confusing.
response was not very clear as far as saying, they should have said, we looked at realignment, it wasn't possible for these reasons. That's why this is going forward.
That's what they're saying. These are the consequences. We looked at it, and these are the consequences. But we didn't get a directive from DOT saying, we want to have this straight,
Right.
this intersection straight. There's
Question.
nothing that they
Right.
say that says that.
It just says the design engineer will check to see if the road can be. I suppose we could interpret that as could be.
Could be.
Realigned to avoid moving and resetting the stone wall. So
Right.
that's the
And the
sentence.
answer is no.
Okay.
The answer is
It's
no.
no. You're right.
They
If
spent
we're gonna
200
realign
words
it-
saying no.
Yeah, if we're going to realign it, we're going to have to do all that description. Okay.
And we're saying, do you really have to?
Okay. I'm feeling better.
Okay.
Thank you. Clearer minds and blood. Good. Okay. We can move on now.
Yes.
Sorry, it was just the most confusing thing. It was like, huh?
It's officialese.
Well, it never really is. Does anybody get some?
While we're waiting for 8:15, just want to draw your attention that in the material at your chair, there is a last-minute memorandum from Michael Harity
We
to...
shouldn't bring that up yet.
No, I'm just letting you know it's here, so that if anyone wanted to look at it, they could. Of course, not discuss it, but since it came in so late, I didn't have a chance to forward an email around letting people know.
When you said in one of the findings for different schools, you said, given that we've had so many problems with the white pines, or books with what problems have we had? Referring to the fact that they lose their,
A lot of them are falling down.
what do you mean, like from Sandy? That kind of stuff?
That and, they're not protected. They don't have stuff around them. They tend to just fall.
Okay.
They're shallow roots.
Right, right. Are they less shallow rooted than firs? Or firs don't seem to go the same way?
Don't go the same way.
Yeah.
I think it has more to do with the branching structure than anything else, because they get like really top heavy. And even cypress,
No?
they don't survive here.
Oh, no?
What does, besides arborvitae?
We just had this discussion.
Yeah.
Cedar, eastern red cedar, any of the juniperus, the uprights.
Yeah.
How about that, the occidentalis, which is now
That's
planted everywhere?
arborvitae.
But it's planted everywhere now.
Right, but what I recommend was the green giant, which is a single leader arborvitae.
Yeah.
It has more of a habit like the Leland cypress and the junipers. The problem with the arborvitaes that are planted kind of commonly is that they have multiple leaders, so they splay,
Mhm.
and then they wind up just deteriorating.
But they never stop growing. They like 30 feet tall and they flop over.
Not all of them.
Okay, so but the ones that you usually get from the nursery
Yeah,
are the ones that never stop growing and flop over after 20 years.
yeah.
So if
more
we
or
could
less.
get something that doesn't,
Yeah.
have that kind of
Yeah.
columnar habit, and
Does not have the
that
columnar?
doesn't have this tendency to just sprout and flop,
Yeah,
that would be fine. It's just that when people think of arborvitae, that's what they think of.
Right.
Like the ones over on Wellesley Street. you
Right.
know. So that's what I think they're looking for, some kind of suggestion about that.
right, and they didn't want something as big or pricey as a fir spruce, although what they're doing in the street is a mixture, which I think will actually be better.
days are 12.
So,
The green giant, that's the one that is out there all over the place. It's quite rapid growing, and that does survive.
yeah,
That does survive.
it does well, yeah. But the Leland cypress is marginally hardy here, it's really only,
I have one, and it's in a very protected
yeah.
area.
In a
Yeah.
protected area, that's great,
Yeah.
but in that location,
Yeah, not
I think
protected,
if
that's
it's
wide
full,
open,
it wouldn't,
right.
it wouldn't survive.
Okay. So you're going to talk to them, or
It did.
you did? Okay. So.
You know what I can find? All of the good old-fashioned, swamp cedar, white cedar stuff that grows all over, it's just fading away. It just doesn't seem to be doing it. You notice that? Huh. But, well, obviously, the hardwoods
Where,
go along. Well, the hardwoods, because I figured I was losing all of them, because they're the first colonizers, and then as the maples grow up around and take the shade, and then they croak.
Yeah.
But, I've got 3 right in the one.
Yeah.
And I had a 4th one. It was huge, and it just failed. It had like bagworm or something going on. Yeah. And then my landscape guy said,
Boards and stuff.
they feel that they're just not good. Amazing. You haven't found that, huh?
But I don't specify them very often.
Yeah.
They're a little difficult.
Right.
Really, yeah, even, good evening.
Hi, how are you?